Have you tried everything and still found no real solution? If that's the case, the new minutes will be a game changer. Keep on watching.
Real Estate with Realtor Kashif Sohail. Welcome to Washington America Show with international multimedia journalist, multidimensional, multifaceted artist and director of Human Rights Justice Council USA, Dr. Kashif Sohail.
Most mortgages and deed of trust contain the following standard clauses. Acceleration. An acceleration clause specifies that if the borrower violates the covenants of the mortgage or deed of trust, then the entire loan balance becomes due and payable upon demand. In other words, the life of the loan is shortened, or accelerated, to its end. The lender may only accelerate the note if this clause is expressly included in the loan document. Also, the lender must give the debtor adequate notice, usually prescribed by law, and specify a time period to allow the debtor to cure the default.
A mortgagee might accelerate a note if the borrower failed to pay his installment, committed harmful waste, or failed to repair, thereby seriously endangering the value of the mortgaged property. A prepayment clause may require that the borrower pay a penalty if the loan is paid prior to the original maturity date. However, as is the case with FHA and VA mortgages, this clause may also provide that there be no penalty for early payment.
A subordination clause is usually found in a junior mortgage. It provides that if an existing first mortgage is paid or renegotiated, the junior mortgage will remain subordinate, will not become a first mortgage. Junior mortgage holders usually receive higher interest rates in exchange for their subordinate position.
Do not confuse a subordination clause with a subordination agreement. A subordination agreement is an agreement whereby a superior mortgage, such as a first mortgage, agrees to take a subordinate or junior position with respect to a new or future lien.
In states that permit deed of trusts, title theory states, a power of sale clause provides a trustee the right to sell the property in the event of a default. Title theory states often allow the lender to directly sell the property at public auction without a court order.
An alienation clause, also called a due on sale clause, provides that upon transfer of ownership, title, or interest, collectively known as alienation, of the property by the borrower, the lender may demand the balance of the debt. In effect, this clause makes the loan non-assumable by a new buyer without the lender's approval.
Some states do not allow due on sale clauses, unless the lender actually demonstrates that such a transfer would endanger its security, because they believe they are an unreasonable restraint on alienation, or an unreasonable limitation on the right to sell property.
A defeasance clause provides for the defeat or cancellation of the mortgage or deed of trust when the borrower has repaid the entire debt. The loan is thereby cancelled and the borrower restored to his full rights of ownership. However, the borrower must still record a satisfaction of mortgage or deed of release in order to clear the lien from the public record.
exculpatory clause may appear in a mortgage or deed of trust in a title or a lien theory state. The exculpatory clause states that the lender waives its right to a deficiency judgment. A deficiency judgment is a court order against a borrower which declares that she is personally liable for a debt because the collateral was insufficient to cover the entire debt. This clause is rarely used.
An escalator clause adjusts loan payments either up or down. The escalator clause may be used in a variety of situations. For example, commercial leases frequently require that rent payments be adjusted up periodically to cover increases in taxes and insurance.
Many long-term leases adjust according to the Consumer Price Index. An escalator clause may also be used in a promissory note to increase the interest rate in case of a late payment or default.
Generally, developers use partial release clauses to release individual lots in a subdivision from a blanket mortgage on the entire development. This allows the mortgager or developer to sell lots to buyers that arrange their own financing. The buyer pays the developer a fee, the developer pays the lender a fee, and the lender releases the lot from the blanket lien that encumbers the entire development.
A buyer may purchase property by keeping the original loan in place and continuing payments in the original owner's place. This is done by either assuming an existing mortgage, or by taking property subject to an existing mortgage.
When a buyer assumes a mortgage, she assumes personal liability for full payment of the debt. This means that if the loan is not paid and a foreclosure sale does not satisfy the debt, the new buyer who assumed the loan will be personally liable to pay the outstanding balance. Such payments are court-ordered through a deficiency judgment.
In most cases, the lender will hold the seller and the buyer as jointly and severally liable. This means that the lender may pursue either or both parties to repay the debt. In effect, the buyer becomes a co-guarantor with the original note maker.
When a buyer purchases a home with an existing mortgage, he may buy the property, subject to the mortgage. Unlike assumption, this means that the new buyer is not personally liable for payment of the debt. When a buyer purchases a home with an existing mortgage, he may buy the property, subject to the mortgage. Unlike assumption, this means that the new buyer is not personally liable for payment of the debt.
Just as it is permissible to substitute borrowers through assumption and subject to provisions, so too can one substitute lenders. The contractual concepts of assignment, transfer the rights in the debt to another lender, and novation, substitute one agreement for another. A lender may release a seller and substitute her with the buyer, allow the substitution of lenders and mortgage agreements.
Ultimately, a mortgage or deed in trust is either timely paid in full or not. When one pays her loan in full, she has attained satisfaction of the loan. On the other hand, where one defaults on a loan or fails to make required payments according to the terms of the loan, the lender has the power to foreclose or sell the property. How satisfaction and foreclosure are carried out depends on whether the property is located in a lien or title theory state.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to click the link below in order to find out more.
Please share this video, subscribe to our channel.
Are you looking to buy or sell a home anytime soon? If so, you've come to the right place. We'd like to give you the opportunity to work with one of the top local real estate agents and get the best deal when buying or selling a home. The fact is, experienced agents can often get you a 2 to 10% better deal on the purchase or sale of a property, mostly due to their experience in the local marketplace and their ability to negotiate the best deal. So contact our top agent now and start the process of buying or selling your home.